Hey friends, family and folks, Canada here. Hey, just popping on today to say, it would seem that this is not going to be a short road, what we're living through in this world, with all the unrest. And it is, basically worldwide. And certainly as a Canadian, our whole generation has just been completely fortunate, I guess one might say, to live in a time of absolute paradise. Enough food to eat, enough freedoms to walk wherever you want and say the things you wish, to have your own type and understanding of faith and religion. All those beautiful freedoms that we can see being diminished around the world. And democracy does have a cycle if you look at history. So maybe we're entering to a necessary time of cycle. But I was listening to a Catholic priest today speak, and it really went along with where my heart's been lately. And that is, I've simmered down a few times, and then I get enraged, and then I get simmering down again. And I imagine that's happening to a lot of people around the world, certainly in Canada and in the US. And at 4 this afternoon, and maybe it's already happened, I don't know what time it is, it will be announced what kind of warfare economically is going to be administered to Canada for no good reason. But I hope we have the strength and solidarity to withstand it, to share food back and forth amongst our neighbors, to help those who have 2 people working in places that will be affected with layoffs, both mother and father, and that they may be able to keep their homes for their children. This is the kind of pain that's being inflicted from armchair warriors, right? But I'm also at this point where I think, this is a symptom. This is a symptom of a society that is very hurt, dissatisfied, violent because they don't have a voice, acting out through a funnel and a face of that, which would be the Mr. President Trump. And I'm wondering if we can all stand and solidify one to the other to say, we play a part in the symptoms of this. We have for years chosen $5 t-shirts at whatever department store, knowing in our hearts that it has been sown by the slavery of some people in China who do not get paid very well, if at all, work in very hard and difficult conditions. We play a part. The comfort of which we live is in part on the sacrifice of individuals under similar rule that I see our free countries sliding towards. And as angry as I have gotten because this administration was voted in and chosen by people, I think knowing that he was going to be very unkind and cruel and very protectionist, that has to mean that there's exclusion. And the crazy thing is that it's done under the cloak of religion. And we all can see the hypocrisy in that. Hypocrisy is a word that comes from actor. These are, I guess, what some people call bad actors. They are people who say one thing outside one side of their mouth and do another outside the other. And the fact that so many Christian-based people support this is very filled with hypocrisy. And I am no different. I am a hypocrite because I live in such comfort. A lot of that comfort comes from wars around the world that have brought me these comforts. And I live in them day to day and take no ownership. And so I'm trying hard to know that people who have chosen this and people who are in administration executing some of which is causing such pain around the world and more to come, is that they are operating out of collective sin and dissatisfaction in life and ego. I mean, let's just look at these most wealthy people that could do so much good, but they don't. It's because, they are completely trapped in their own ego. And that's a very sad place to be. And so I'm just having a moment of warmth and sadness towards all of us who play a part in these world inequities, these world sins, if that's the word you can use. And I know that word is very loaded with religiosity, but it really means that we are not hitting the mark. Sin was an archery term when your intention, attention, aim, and action did not all line up perfectly. You don't hit bullseye. And we hurt the people we love all the time, and generational hurt and generational trauma. Mr. Trump, I don't think, was loved. When you listen to his cousin, Mary, he had a very sad generational lack of love in his family. And you can see that playing out. And a lot of us play into it because we can benefit sometimes from such terrible acts. So I'm just here to hold my part of the basket and be very sad for myself and sad for others. And today my anger has gone up and down between anger and compassion, but at the moment it's a bit more compassionate. But it doesn't change the fact that these kind of sinful acts really affect individuals, and it's going to affect a lot of Canadians. And we are going to have to respond in kind, which means we will hurt our American friends. But our American friends are saying, do it. We need to send a message. And they will quite willingly take a little bit of pain now in hopes of not having martial law executed and put into place on April 20th. So I hope for everyone on the earth. And let's share the love. Cheers.